Hey guys, so I want to discuss one thing that keeps coming up with various in-person clients and remote clients, and that is that there are, just like life, there are seasons of training. So it is, while it might be the most ideal situation to have the most consistent training plan and nutrition plan ongoing for year after year, and that distills into month after month and week after week and day after day. However, that's not realistic. You go through life and you have a baby. That throws things off. You have family members that get sick. You have summertime and you enjoy doing different activities. Regardless, instead of this being an all-on and where everything is focused on moving forward in the gym and health and nutrition aspects, and then piggybacking to not doing anything because your conditions are not perfect, what I want you to do is understand that there are going to be seasons. So typically for most people in an athletic sense is they are very sports specific within the time that they're competing or training for something. And then they have an off season, and that off season is super important. And that whole off season is designed to let you mentally recover, let your body physically recover. For those of us, which is most of us, that are not athletes participating in any sport, it's nice to take those same principles and apply them to your journey in betterment. Like, this is a game that we're never gonna win. Like, this is an ongoing deal forever. So with that, understand that just because you have a week or two that you fall off, that doesn't mean that you're not doing well, you're not moving forward. If you zoom out and look at the big picture, maybe you took those 2 or 3 weeks off because kids were sick, work demands were through the roof, and life just through a different aspect of life than you're used to. Completely fine. So maybe what you do in those seasons where you realize it is busy is control what you can control. So maybe what it is you learn how to mitigate stress. So maybe we get into working on incorporating more breath work. So as life becomes super demanding, you learn how to use your breath to downregulate yourself and make yourself feel a little bit more in control of the chaos that is going around you. And then once life does normalize again and you can get back to putting a bigger focus into training, that allows you the opportunity to then take the breath work that you applied and allow you to then use that in between your sets of training where you're making life more stressful in training. That's the whole point of training, is we induce stress and then teach yourself to recover from that. And you can use and apply that breath work that you learned in a time where training, you didn't have time to train, or it was an off season, and now that's helping to move you forward in the long run. The other thing too is it's important to know that, like, hormonally speaking, it's important to have those times. And the biggest thing for me with the realizing and looking at it through the lens of we do have seasons is it removes the judgment. Because and this happens to so many people, but you fall off or life becomes really busy and you feel like a failure, and then all the stories we create are driven off the fact that you feel like a failure. Well, you're not failing. You're controlling life, you're handling the things that absolutely need to be handled, and then when that allows you the space and the time and the energy to get back to training when life allows that. And yes, there are times where you could make it more of a priority, but by and large, life's gonna dictate when we can. So with that, I'm just trying to work on changing your view, as it's not a pass, it's not a fail. It's a what can I do to better myself now in a realistic pattern, and then allow you the opportunity when the conditions do present themselves to train hard, to focus on nutrition, to do things that take more cognitive energy that you're not going to have the access to when the rest of life is demanding. So remember, this is a lifelong endeavor. This is a lifelong journey in which you're always going to win, you're never going to win, and it's going to be one of those things where you control the narrative and make that narrative be something that is self-supporting to you instead of damaging to you. Thanks, guys.